This afternoon, I welcomed President von der Leyen to Windsor to continue our discussions about the Northern Ireland Protocol. I'm pleased to report that we have now made a decisive breakthrough. Together, we have changed the original protocol and are today announcing the new Windsor framework. Today's agreement delivers smooth-flowing trade within the whole United Kingdom, protects Northern Ireland's place in our union, and safeguards sovereignty for the people of Northern Ireland.
We knew that for us to be able to make the most of the potential of our partnership, solutions were needed for the issues around the protocol on Ireland and Northern Ireland. We knew it was not going to be easy. We knew we needed to listen to each other's concerns very carefully. Above all, we had to listen to the concerns of the people of Northern Ireland.
Well, earlier, Rishi Sunak addressed the UK Parliament. Jonah Hull was monitoring developments there and joins us now live in the studio. So, Jonah, what exactly does this Windsor framework mean? How much of a departure is it from what we've seen before?
Well, Boris Johnson has just addressed Parliament, and he told MPs that this was a permanent, legally binding agreement that removes the border in the Irish Sea for good. So to that extent, it's a huge departure from the original Northern Ireland Protocol. Essentially what they've done is twofold. They're smoothing trade from the United Kingdom to Northern Ireland of goods that are not intended to go any further into the EU's single market. The big winner is food. 3/4 of the food in Northern Ireland supermarkets is made on the UK mainland. But think plants, pets and medicines as well, big winners there. The other thing is to try and calm the DUP's concerns, the Democratic Unionists, about the influence of EU law in any arbitration of disputes. They've come up with this thing called the Stormont break, by which they would hand the devolved Assembly Stormont an essential veto on any future rules taken by Brussels as a way of minimising the role of the European Court of Justice. Enough to bring the DUP back into power sharing. They're going to have to scrutinise the fine detail to decide, but the reality that they've got to accept is that as Northern Ireland occupies a place not just in the UK but in the EU single market, as a consequence of Brexit, they're never going to be able to entirely get rid of EU law.
This was always going to be a Herculean task, wasn't it, to smooth over these immense political challenges, something that appears Rishi Sunak may well have done. In terms of political capital going ahead into an election, what does this mean for him and the Conservative Party?
Well, look, the pound shot up, the markets like it. He's taken a major gamble here because he risked in doing this a backlash, not just from the Democratic Unionists saying no, but from these hard-line pro-Brexit MPs on the right of his party who said they would take their cue from the DUP. Now, if he can win them over, and remember that constituency isn't nearly as strong as it once was, if he can win them over, it's a major coup. It's a big turning point in relations between the UK and the EU, and of course it finally gets Brexit done. Not Rishi Sunak's old boss Boris Johnson, who promised that he had done that, but Rishi Sunak himself.
This could be quite a moment for the Sunak leadership. Jonah.